Hi. I just wanted to speak today a little bit about spiritual causes for anxiety and worry. Okay, and I apologize for the camera angle. It's a little bit low, but I'm not really adept with technology and I'm just using my phone, so I apologize if the angle is a little bit weird. Anyway, if you can bear with me, I just wanted to talk to you about spiritual causes of anxiety and worry. And what I mean by spiritual causes is not speaking about just the practical reasons and coming from a psychological standpoint that a lot of people talk about with anxiety and worry, whether it's a deficiency in some vitamins or it's coming from a stressful situation. It's very surface level reason or an external reason, or speaking about a mental illness of some kind or depression or whatever else. I don't really want to speak and pinpoint those reasons today, but those are very valid reasons. But I find that they're very surface oriented, where we don't dig deep enough to really see why we may be going through or having these emotional responses or mental issues. And so, what I mean by spiritual causes is a matter of looking deeper, looking more into the spirit, looking into metaphysical reasons, looking into energy. So that's what I mean by spiritual. So it doesn't necessarily mean religious, or I'm just speaking about entities or ghosts or anything like that. Okay? I mean, I'm going to touch a little bit about that, but I don't really mean I'm speaking about just that type of thing. It's more it's more about going deeper and looking deeper and looking into what may be causing these surface level issues with um, our psychological mind, our emotional body. Okay, I wanted to go deeper into the reasons. Okay, so that's just to keep you or give you a better understanding of what I mean by spiritual causes. Okay, so I just wrote down some reasons. So if I'm looking down, it's just because I'm referring to some points that I don't want to forget. Because I find that if I just make a video and I don't put any points, sometimes I derail a little bit. I get off of topic a little bit, and then I find that I forgot to say what I really wanted to say. Okay, so one of the first reasons um, the first reason, spiritual reason, why we have a lot of anxiety and worry. When I mean, this is another thing that I have to clear up, is when you have excessive anxiety and worry or prolonged anxiety and worry, because I know that from time to time you're going to be anxious or worried. Okay, there are times, there's fleeting periods of time and moments where we feel, okay, I'm anxious about this, or there's a circumstance where we don't know what to do, so we feel anxiety and worry. But what I'm speaking about is anxiety and worry where it's prolonged or it's excessive. So that's what I mean. Sorry, I like to clear things up. So the first reason is lack of faith. Okay, that's one reason. Mainly, I would say that, let me put my paper away so I don't keep looking at it. Okay, one thing I want to say about that is the fact that if you have a feeling, or not feeling, or if you don't have a um, belief in something bigger than yourself, okay, you are not going to really have what they would call faith, right? As a religious term, where you believe or you have hope for something greater than you, or have hope for the future that you would have a positive outcome. If you don't have a positive belief in anything higher or bigger, or you do not see a divine plan or the reason and the purpose for everything that we're going through, then you're not going to have faith. And with faith comes, it's the evidence of not things not seen. That's what they say about faith, okay? When you don't have that, you are not going to think that whatever you're going through is for a reason and it's planned out and you will get to your desired outcome, or things will work themselves out in a way that you didn't expect. Okay? So when you don't have a belief, or you have an unawareness of something bigger than your circumstances, bigger than what you see, bigger than your physical eyes and what you're hearing and what you're interpreting and how you perceive your situation. When you don't have anything bigger, when you're not looking to anything bigger, okay, to draw from, to say that, okay, maybe I don't know all there is to know about what I'm going through, or maybe I don't see all there is to see about, what the situation is about. When you don't have that, you're going to be in what we would call fear. And when you're in fear, you can't be in love. And to be in love and to have a state of love consciousness, it's really coming from something bigger. It's coming from something divine. Okay? Because whatever you're thinking about, if you happen to believe in something bigger than yourself, you're believing in something that's of love or something that's divine. Hopefully, because what would be the point if you didn't believe in something loving and something having a bigger plan and something coming together to work for your good? What would be the point of believing in something bigger if you just believe that it's going to be this way, it's going to be that way, things are as they seem? It's not hopeful because there's no order, it's chaos. Okay? So when you don't believe in something, you're going to have fear. And when you have fear, that's an absence of love. Okay? It's very easy to be in a fear-based thinking, fear-based thinking when you don't have a belief. Okay? And it's not to say that you have to have a specific God or you need to be in a religious denomination or anything like that. But when you don't believe in something more than you, you're going to have fear because you think that all you see is the truth. All you see is what you is what is. Okay? I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to over explain myself to the point where it just sounds like, what are you saying? Because I really like to get into what I mean, but then that can cause a little bit of confusion. Okay? So, when you have distorted perceptions of reality, which comes from not, I guess, getting into the truth or having your understanding of what's true, you're going to be in fear. And when you're going to be in fear, this is what I really need to get to. When you're going to be in fear, when you're in fear, when you're in fear, this is what causes anxiety and worry. Because anxiety and worry is really about having fear or trepidation or having distress or stress about a circumstance or a future outcome, which is anxiety. Anxiety is really worry for the future. Worry is about present circumstances and wondering, having distress and having fear about your present circumstance. So when you're in fear, you're going to worry. It's that simple. When you're of love, when you feel love, when you know that everything's going to be okay, when you know that you're part of the divine plan and everything is in order, no matter how it looks, no matter how it seems that it will turn out, you know that it's going to be for your good. You know it's going to be for your good. You know it's going to be good for you. Sorry, that's the heater going on. Forgot to turn it off, but that's okay. Yes, so it's really just a matter of about a matter of spiritual awareness or a lack thereof, or a lack of faith, or depending on where you are in your spiritual awareness and development, that can affect the degree of how you worry and how much anxiety you have. So I hope that clears it up for you. That's one point. Okay, so lack of faith, unawareness, okay, distorted perceptions of reality because of fear, and lack of awareness for spirituality. Depending on where you are in your spiritual development and awareness, which feeds into everything that I'm saying, that's when you can have anxiety and worry. That's where a lot of anxiety and worry comes from. Okay, so the next one is, I don't really need to look at this paper so long. It's just that because I'm a very visual, I see it there, I feel like I have to keep looking at it. Sorry, I'm gonna put it away. This number 2 is ascension symptoms. Let me put this away. Ascension symptoms is what can cause a lot of anxiety and worry. Okay, so what I mean by this is, when you're ascending, okay, you are moving out of your 3D density body, okay, which is grounded in this earth realm, in this dimension. When you are ascending, you're moving to a different dimension, okay, you're moving, you're elevating, you're ascending, right? Everything with you is ascending. Okay, your state of mind, your thoughts, your emotions, you are becoming, you're embodying more light when you're ascending. You are leaving behind more of the false physical, heavy density of what you are in the 3D, okay? So this is not only just going on in our planet, okay, and this the ascension process, if you've heard of it, but it's happening within us, okay? So we are ascending. So when you are ascending, what is happening is that you are letting go of the heavy 3D fear-based density type of thinking, type of reacting emotions. You're getting, okay, let's put it this way. Let's make it very simple. You're getting rid more of your humanistic side, and you're embodying your true spiritual self. Okay, so what does that do? Because when you are ascending, you're changing, you're expanding, um, you are transforming. Your cells are transforming. Your mind is expanding. There's more light coming into your mind and into your thoughts, and you're transforming, and you're becoming what it is that you truly are, but in the physical form. So with the ego, which is your false self, which is your rational mind, which is the mind which is only thinks in linear time. It only thinks about the past, not even so much the present. It lives in the past and it lives in the future. Okay, it lives in the past and in the future, but it doesn't really live in the present. But what I'm saying, it's linear. It's just one way. It's one line. It's here to here. Okay, and it only references to, it's like a computer, so it only references to your experiences and to everything you've gone through, everything you've seen, everything you heard, everything you've whatever it's just a computer, so it references to only to what you've seen and what you know in your rational mind and what you can sense and hear and touch and taste. Okay, so what happens with this ascension process is that you're going to get a whole lot of information. You're going to get a whole lot of um, extra dimensional reality that your mind cannot rationalize. It can't handle it. It can't compute it because it's so beyond its scope to interpret what's happening. Okay. And so what happens is that when your mind is getting all this foreign stuff coming into it, which is not of what it is functioned to interpret or function to use, or it's beyond the scope of what it's able to look at and to use. What happens with the ego is that it goes into fear. That's just what it does. Your ego is fear. Okay? So it's just going to go into fear. That's all it knows how to do is go into fear, especially when it's confronted with something it doesn't understand, with something that it cannot be in control of, with something that it cannot um it's beyond its limits. It's beyond what it can do. So when the ego feels out of control, it's just going to kill you with fear. So what happens with that fear is you start to get anxious and you start to get worried. Okay? Your mind is going to send out that anxiety and that worry because it thinks it's in trouble, and it thinks that it is going to be the death of it. And it is, in a way. I mean, you can't really kill your ego, but it has to be pushed aside so that the new can come in and all these light codes can come in and you can expand your awareness, and then you can embody more of your true self, and the ego doesn't belong in that. So it knows that it needs to cast itself aside, right? But it doesn't like that. So it's going to put up a fight, and it's going to bring up all this stuff in your mind to tell you you're in trouble and you're in danger and everything is going wrong because it can't handle that. It can't handle that. It wants to be in control. So it's going to tell you all different things and mess with your mind to make you identify with it, to make you, it's really trying to bring you into fear, because that's what it does. It's fear. It projects fear, and it wants you to identify with the fear so that it can stay alive, so that it can continue to do what it does best, which is keep you in fear. That's basically it. So with ascension symptoms, you're going to have anxiety and worry, but that's only your ego mind. So if you're sitting there wondering why you're feeling so anxious and so worried, and there's really nothing going on, there's nothing happening. Sorry. Yeah, there's nothing happening, okay? But you are just in so much anxiety and so much worry. Maybe it's just because your ego mind's acting up. It's just acting up. So if you're having bouts of you know it might be ascension symptoms. Okay, so the next one is, I'm really trying to keep this short. I don't want to make this too long. It's already been 17 minutes. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, okay, in relationship to ascension symptoms, I also want to speak about upheavals. Okay, so with upheavals, let's define what that is first. Upheaval is a strong or strong, violent, or sudden change that is happening to something. Okay, so it's a strong or it's a sudden change or violent change that happens to something. Okay, so in terms of upheavals, I'm speaking about within yourself. Okay, so the upheavals can cause a lot of anxiety and worry. And so what upheavals are, spiritually speaking, is that you are going through a lot of chaos and you're going through a lot of sudden changes in your mind. And this can be caused from the ascension process. But the upheavals, the function is to release you and purge you of old energies. So it's the stuff that you don't need anymore. Okay. When we go throughout life and because everything is energy, let's put that out there. Everything's energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, you consist of energy. Everything that lives is energy. Everything that's inanimate objects and organic objects, life objects, are life objects. Living creatures, entities, we are all energy. So anyway, what I'm saying is, when you go throughout your life and you go through all your different experiences you've had and all your thoughts and all your emotions, you have all these thoughts and all emotions. Think of all the thoughts and emotions you've had over your life. Those are all creating energy, okay? And not all of that energy just comes out and it just goes out. Especially when you are in a situation where you have repressed your energy, you repress your emotion, or even if you didn't repress it, sometimes it just stays with you and it stays in you and it stays in different parts of your body. It gets locked into your body, okay? And think about all that energy, all the possible energy that you've absorbed from other people and also created within yourself, and it's in your body. So what happens is that with the ascension process, particularly, or let's just say whenever your body is ready to get rid of what it has on the inside, you're going to have an upheaval. So you're going to have a sudden violent change in your moods, in your thoughts, and in your, your physical reactions. You're going to feel like something is happening. And it is. You're releasing old energy. And what happens is that sometimes you can be releasing old anxiety and old worry and old nervousness or whatever it is that you felt all those years ago or a year ago or a day ago, whatever. But you're releasing old energy. Or, this can go with it as well, is the fact that because you're going through an upheaval and you're releasing energy, and it doesn't just have to be anxiety or worry, your ego or your mind doesn't really know what's going on because this is your body's, your body or your higher self is telling you to purge out these emotions. Okay, so your ego, your mind does not know what's going on. So then it reacts with anxiety and worry. So regardless, it's still anxiety and worry. You still, that's how the mind reacts when it doesn't know what it's going through. That's how the ego so-called protects itself by producing anxiety and worry, which is fear, because it doesn't know what to do with this turbulence and this change. It doesn't know what to do, so it gives you anxiety and worry. Okay, so upheavals is a big one that I know that, especially when we're having a emotional upheaval, we're having an energetic upheaval. That's really what I hope I said that. I don't think I said energetic, but we're having an energetic upheaval. Yes, I did. The energy comes out. Okay, so yeah, anxiety happens when that happens. Anxiety happens because it's going to create turbulence on the inside of you. It's going to create a lot of turbulence. Okay, so yeah, upheavals. Yes, okay. This is another thing that I wanted to really pinpoint, really drive home here, because the thing is, I noticed that, or something that I've recently learned, because I've always been into spirituality, I've always been into spiritual studies, I've always been into spirituality for as long as I can remember. Okay, I've always been into spirituality, but one thing I did not really look into, or this is kind of strange, I guess I wasn't ready to look at that, but it's chakras. Okay, and chakras, if you don't know what a chakra is, it's nothing you can see physical. It's a metaphysical thing, it's an invisible thing, but they're very real. And what these are energy centers in our bodies, okay, that dominate and govern certain behavior, no, not behavior, certain thoughts, certain emotions, um, certain anatomy, different parts of anatomy in our body, different organs and different things in our body, and it gives it energy, it gives it life force. Okay, so we have many different chakras, but the main ones, we have 7 chakras. I'm going to get into another video with that because that's too much to talk about. But those energy centers really have a lot to do with whatever it is responsible for, it governs it. It governs those thoughts, emotions, and glands and organs and whatever it is, whatever else it needs to do. Like even just the way you think and how you feel about yourself. Some chakras govern those type of things. Everything about you, all dimensions of you, all different aspects of you. So the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, it governs that. So anyway, what I'm speaking about with chakras are that there's one chakra that is called the solar plexus chakra. It is the third chakra out of all the seven main ones that we have in our bodies. Okay, the solar plexus chakra is basically what some people call the success chakra. So that means that it governs your sense of will, your determination, your place in the world, how you feel about your place in the world, your sense of destiny, your purpose, your ability to come up with ideas and goals and plans and put them into action. Um, um, it's responsible for everything pertaining to that. Okay, it's responsible for also your intuition and being able to follow your intuition and your knowing about who you are and believing in yourself and putting that out into the world. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of other there's a lot of other variations, but that's basically what it is. It's let's put it this way, this is another point that I have to remember. It is also, it has like the motto, I wouldn't say motto, it's not like a full phrase or anything, but what it basically helps you to do is say, I can. Okay? Let's put it that way. I can. So, whatever you want to fill in the blank after that, I can achieve this goal. I can go to school and graduate. I can, I can, I can. It's really about what you're doing, it's your sense of purpose and drive and will. Success chakra. Anyway, um, with the physical, yeah, I think I'll talk about that in a different video. But actually, no. It also governs the nervous system. That's one of the things that it governs. Also, the gallbladder, um, the digestive system, the large intestine. Um, what else does it govern? I think it's pancreas. Is it the pancreas? The stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, the nervous system, pancreas, other things. It governs other things. But let's just say it's this area here, the stomach area. Okay, the digestion. It's how we digest and take things in and do something with it. Okay, so it's also metaphorical what it does too. Very physical what it does with the stomach and the large intestine, okay? But it's also about what we do, taking information and how we use it to benefit us and to propel us forward and to make us achieve our goals, okay? So anyway, long-winded. But what I'm saying is that I found out about the chakras and I found out about the specifically the solar plexus chakra. And I found that sometimes our chakras can be damaged or inefficient or weak. So either it's running very, very slow. Let's just think of it as like a fan, okay, where it's taking in energy and it's bringing it through. I just think of a fan. Okay, I just think of a fan or like a fan, okay? And what happens is that if it's working very, very slowly, it's not bringing in enough energy to fuel those things that it's energizing or those things that it governs, okay? So from the things that I spoke about with what it does, if it is going, if it is very inefficient with what, with how much energy it's bringing into, life force is bringing into with our thoughts and our emotions and the way that we see ourselves. One of the symptoms of a weak and inefficient chakra is anxiety and worry. Because if you have a determined sense of will, you're sure of yourself, you're comfortable in your own skin, you know that you can handle whatever it is that you go after or you do or you experience. If you are having a weak chakra, inefficient chakra, it's going to cause you to have anxiety, right? Because anxiety and worry is fear. Okay, and I think I was trying to get to something else in terms of the physical, the very physical symptom of having a weak chakra is that it it governs the nervous system, and the nervous system is your nervous system. It's something that allows you, if it's healthy, it allows you to be comfortable in your own skin. But if it's imbalanced, you're going to feel nervous, you're going to feel jumpy and on edge and stressed, and you're not going to feel comfortable and well in yourself. So you see how these two work together. All of this works together, but I'm going to get more into that. But I found out that if you're having prolonged anxiety and worry, because I've had anxiety and worry prolonged excessively for years. And I really just recently came across this information. I said, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I think I've had a weak or damaged chakra, solar plexus chakra for a long time. I mean, there's other symptoms, but I'll get into those other symptoms in another video. But I'm thinking that maybe you must consider that if you are excessively worried and anxious and everything you've done, you just can't seem to be okay and comfortable in your skin, and you're jumpy and you're worried and you're anxious and you just can't seem to settle, maybe you have a problem with your solar plexus chakra. Maybe you have an issue with that. Maybe. I don't know. I can't say that for sure because there's so many different reasons. Okay? But that's one thing I learned. There might be a deficiency in your third chakra, which is solar plexus. Okay? Now, yeah, it's just so I don't forget. Just so I don't forget. So, the next point, and this is what a lot of people might have a controversy with, but like I said, spiritual reasons, right? Spirituality. So the next reason why you can be always anxious, always worried, always on edge, you could have what they would call a negative entity, thought form, or energy in your energy field. So what I mean by that is, it doesn't necessarily has to be a demon or anything, really, it doesn't have to be anything really, evil as such, but there are such things as discarded entities or disembodied, you know, spirits, and you have these mischievous spirits that are just pretty much roaming around in this dimension. They've left, they've died, and they kind of hanging around in this dimension, and they're still have unsettled business to deal with, and they're just fussy, miserable, angry spirits, but they're not necessarily evil. Okay, some of them are, but they don't have to be necessarily evil. They're just angsty spirits that need to figure out what it is that they're doing. Are you going to go to the other side, or are you going to stay here? Okay, and some of them, they just attach themselves to people who have a weak spot in their aura and then fasten themselves into that person's mind, okay, energy field in their mind, make cords in their mind, and actually vicariously live through that person or um, live out their emotional angst or issues or anger through that person. So if you feel like maybe, okay, this is not really in character with who I am, even for me, I shouldn't be this anxious and worried. This is not my nature. Even if you are an anxious or worried person, perhaps it's just overboard and it's like, okay, why am I this anxious and worried? Like, this is crazy. Nothing's happening. I'm just losing my mind. Perhaps there is some kind of negative entity fastening themselves to you and creating disturbance. Like, I mean, it's real stuff. I mean, it's real stuff. This is not made up. It's real stuff. Okay? Well, to me, I mean, and to other people, many, many other people, it's real to them. But it's just that it's not really spoken about because, as with spirituality, a lot of people don't see it, they can't prove it, so it's automatically invalid. But believe me, there are different entities and thought forms and what they would call a thought form because everything is energy. So even your thoughts take on a life of its own. It literally does take on a life of its own. And it can be, you know, it can actually attach itself to other people. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll get into that, more into that. But yeah, so for those reasons, those could be, those are the spiritual reasons that I've come up with, pertaining to anxiety and worry, and why you may have all these prolonged, excessive issues of anxiety and worry. Okay, because I've done a lot of work on myself, and it just seems like I just could never get rid of it, no matter what I did. I could never get rid of it, no matter what I did. So that's a possibility for you. Those are possibilities. So maybe if something rang true, it's worth looking into that. Okay, so those are just the reasons that I came up with, and that's all. I'll come back for another video. So thank you.